Hi everyone. I'm contacting you today from COVID isolation. Yes, I went on a trip and while traveling, came down quickly with COVID, and here I've been ever since. But I'm lucky. I had my shots and I'm feeling so much better, and it was a pretty brief sickness, but I'm still positive. So I need to do something productive. So I'm going to do a review of this nifty little metronome I've wanted to for quite some time, never had the time. Thank you, COVID. Not really. Um, so let me just show you the pros and the cons of this little unit, and then I'll give you a tour of its many complexities. Okay, so the pros are it's got a nice look. I fell in love with its look. It was pretty modern back when I bought it. It's kind of old news now, but I still like it. It is an all-in-one, always nice to save space. It's got a metronome, tuner, and pitch generator. It has chosen to give you a wood block tone, which I'm a huge fan of over the digital dink, dink, dink on some digital metronomes. It has a little kickstand, nice when you're out in the rugged frontier without modern conveniences, like I am right now. It has a memory of your last setting. So whatever you were working on, whatever mode and function you had when you turned it off, it'll bring that exact setting back up when you turn it back on again. That's nice. The LED screen will light up when it's being used, and then it will go dark. That's a pro or a con. No, it as soon as you start using the unit again, it lights back up again, so that's a battery saver. I like the jog dial. It can help you to make wide range leaps pretty efficiently. Could be faster, but it's still nice. And it's got the nice little headphone jack if you want to use an external speaker or a headphone, and it's got little inputs for guitars or those of you who use pickups. So those are the pros. Quite a few pros. There's more pros hidden in the functions, which I can't remember now, but when I show you the tour of the unit, I'll remember what they are. Sorry. There's only two cons, but they're big ones. First of all, there's no start and stop for the metronome feature. It's either running or you have to turn the unit off. I hate that feature. It's inconvenient. Enough said on that. You'll see me struggling with that feature when I'm trying to show you the metronome. You can mute it, and there's another, here, let me just show you. So there's the on button. Let's turn it to metronome. Oops. See, I had it on mute already. You can mute it, then it still keeps going. Or you can hit the function button, and that silences it for 30 seconds. But then it's going to go right back to the metronome making noise. So that's a huge con for me. It may not be for you, but it's a big one for me. The second con is, that nice woodblock tone I was bragging about. They put the speaker on the back. So musicians who set their metronome on a music stand, you just lost your nice woodblock tone, because it's blocked with your music stand. I don't know why anyone in their right mind would put the speaker on the back. Not everyone has room to use the kickstand, and the kickstand it'll fall off your music stand if you're trying to create space for the speaker. It's just dumb engineering. Okay, so those are the cons. Now let me try as fast as I can give you a tour of this unit. It seems pretty complicated, but once you know the basic gist, it's a lot simpler. So let me turn that stupid thing off. No, I don't want it. Okay. Turn it on. And I'm going to mute it so I can talk to you. So there's, first of all, the buttons. I'll tell you what each one is. Power on, power off. Easy enough. The mode, you're going to have 3 modes. Metronome, pitch generator, and tuner, in that order. The function is all the settings within each mode. So whatever mode you're in, this is your operation button for choosing your settings. Tap in You know what that is. If you're listening to a recording and you want to match the speed, you attempt to tap to the beat of the recording, but you're doing it while the metronome is going, and it kind of fights against you. So once again, the fact that I cannot turn the metronome off kind of jacks up the tap-in feature. And then you have the lovely mute button, which you will be using a lot. Okay, enough on that. I'm a little emotional, I think. So that's the basic buttons. Now let me show you the metronome. So we're on metronome right now. Let me show you the settings within the metronome. I push this once and beat flashes. You make your adjustments using the jog dial. I'll go this way. So if I hit 4, it'll give me a dink on beat 1 out of 4. And that's nice if you want to highlight beat 1. Let's hear it. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And you can set, let's go back to function. You can set it all the way up to 9. So that's that. Let me go back, hit function again, and now it's flashing this little icon. Whatever's flashing is what your jog dial is going to adjust. That's your subdivision. So I generally just keep it on quarter note, but if you want it to count, if you want the metronome to give you 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, set it to 8th notes. If you want to subdivide triplets, put it on triplets, 16th notes. We'll give you 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. You want to hear it? Okay. And we've got jets overhead. My mother, who has dementia, every time they fly overhead, she says, "The sounds of freedom." So there's the eternal optimist. Okay, let me turn this back to normal. Let me highlight the subdivision. Oh, one more is this neat little thing. Dump-dee-dump-dee-dump-dee-dump-dee-dump-dee. I guess that's just a common rhythm that people want to practice with. Okay, let me mute and turn that back to normal. Okay, that's it for the metronome. There are no other settings. So we did the beat and we did the subdivision, and that is it. So we're going to hit mode again, and we're going to leave the metronome and go to the pitch generator. There's only one setting on the pitch generator. Let me mute this. You'll see the 440. That's your calibration, or how you tune your pitch generator. I practice at A440. Some people practice at A442. Some people want to be on the cosmic love frequency of A432. This can tune to any of those. So we hit function until Hertz is flashing. And then you just simply use your jog dial to tune it to what frequency you want. That's often, people write to me about that more often than anything. They don't know why their metronome sounds so funny all of a sudden. And it's because they've changed their calibration somehow. And that is the only setting in the tuner mode. And that's simple. The mode of tuner is not so simple. So let me just sort of tell you first what options you've got. This is what the tuner looks like. You've got instruments down here. Come on. See that light coming off is an inconvenience. I think it's meant to be a battery saver. I think it's a pain in the rear end. So that's another con. You've got instrument indicators down here. Your choices are chromatic, and I'd just leave it on chromatic. It's got guitar, bass, violin, and ukulele. So that's down here. You've got a key setting and a flat setting, and those are reliant on what instrument setting you have set. And I believe you can also tune your calibration on the tuner setting. So let's explore some of this. So function, there your Hertz is flashing. So if I move my jog dial, that's what's going to move. I don't want to mess with that. I want to show you something else. So this flat is flashing. You can do 1 flat, 2 flat, 3 flats, or 4 flats. And what that means is it's going to be listening to you adjusting for 1 semitone for each flat. So let's find out what that means. We'll do it together. Let's turn it onto 1 flat, okay? And then we'll turn it on, and then I am going to turn my other pitch generator to C, and we'll see how it analyzes the C. Oh, hold on. I can't mess this up. First, I want to put the key on C, or it'll confuse us. So in the key of C, which is the universal neutral key, I think, put it to C. But when this is on 1 flat, watch what happens when I turn the pitch C on. It calls it C sharp. Until the jets come. The sounds of freedom. So that's what the flat operation will do for you. And I think that's probably relevant to woodwinds and trumpets, and people who have to worry about concert pitch versus written pitch. So that's the best I can help you with that. I'm going to turn that flat back to normal. Oops. Okay, I'm going to put that on no flats. And now I'm going to push function again. And let's find out what the key button does. So in chromatic mode, you have 3 keys available: B flat, E flat, F, and C. So 4 keys available. Let's find out what happens when we put it to B flat. How will it interpret a middle C? It transposes for us. It's calling it a D. Okay. So hopefully that will help you to understand what that feature is, those of you who deal in transpositions a lot. That's as far as deep as I'm going to get into that with you, because you're probably better at it than I am, frankly. Okay, let's find out what other features we have. That's it. So you've got hertz, the flat function, the key function, and your instrument function. The instrument function, you have to activate your mode before the instrument function can be changed. So, oops, let's get into the mode, not into the functions. Then if I change my jog dial, then it changes the instrument tunings. There's violin, and that helps it to recognize my open strings. You really want it on chromatic, unless you're only tuning your open strings. And what's the last one? Ukulele. And that way the metronome, the tuner, is anticipating a certain string, and it'll be more accurate for you. But it kind of will get in the way if you want to do any more than open strings. So I would just keep it on chromatic. I really would. And if you're playing around with your settings, don't forget to set it back to normal, or you'll really confuse yourself. And that is it. So all in all, I still like this one better. This one kind of seduced me with its nice sleek red, but the speaker on the back is a killer. And honestly, to get around in the different screens is more fuss than I really want to deal with. So sorry to say, it's nifty. I'll just let you make your own decision from there. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for tolerating my COVID brain, and I'll see you next time.